Today on the Driver's Corner, we're going to be installing these budget race seats in my C5 Corvette. Stay tuned. So aside from the obvious issues like this cheap eBay seat cover, the tears in the bolster, this driver's seat especially has some other insane problems. Like when you brake, the entire seat moves about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. The back is not tight at all. So it made the driving experience something that was not worth having. So rather than spend all of my modification money on expensive seats, I decided to buy some Corbeau Evo X replica seats and see how they fit in the car, see how hard they were to get in there, and I'll kind of give you an outline of everything that it cost me by the end of the project. So this is kind of where we're at, and hopefully in a couple hours we'll have those new seats that you saw at the beginning inside the car. Alright, so in order to install these budget racing seats into the C5 Corvette, I had to find a set of race brackets because I wasn't really going to modify my own at the time, or fabricate my own to install in the car. So what I did is I purchased these from DNA Racing off of eBay by a vendor named Speed Daddy. I ordered them. They're specific for the C5 Corvette. They have a seatbelt bracket already installed, and they look like they're made specifically for the car. If you look at any of the other ones that are for sale, they are a little chintzy. They're a little cheap looking, so I'm a little bit nervous about it. And additionally, the holes for mounting the seat don't line up. So what I'm gonna have to do is choose one set of these holes. I'm gonna choose the set that's closer to the seatbelt mount, because I know from watching other videos that guys have a really hard time getting past the seatbelt mechanism on the door side of the car. So what I'm going to do is shift the seat over to the seatbelt bracket side, and then I'm going to drill a new hole in the center over here. Obviously that makes me nervous because these already have quite a few holes in them. So what I'm probably going to do is get this in together, make sure I'm happy with it before I do too much else, and then I'll come back and I'm going to weld in these holes, the extra ones that I'm not using, and I think I'm going to add some gussets to the bottom right here to stop these from shearing, because I've seen some guys, especially on track cars, that say that where this folded steel is right here, that the brackets will shear. So I'm going to do all that to avoid that, but I'm going to put these in first, just get this video out so you guys can kind of see it. That way if you've been on the fence about getting these more inexpensive seats in your car, instead of saving up and saving up and saving up for Corbeaus or Recaros or Cobra seats, that you can go ahead and make the move, because I think that these are definitely going to be safer than what I've got out there in the car right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do my measuring. I'm not going to videotape that. You guys know how to use a tape measure, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to line it up with one of these holes on the seatbelt side, which is going to place my new hole somewhere in the center right here. And then I'm going to run to the store and get my grade 8 hardware. I need to install the seats onto this, and then I'll be right back. So it'll be like 2 seconds for you. It's probably going to be about 2 hours for me. See you in a little bit. Okay, so before I do get going to get my hardware, I did just kind of want to explain some things to you. So you're going to read, if you've done any research, which you should before you start doing anything, if you're going to read that you're going to have to install the passenger seat on the driver's side. So basically what that means is that the seat that has the lumbar adjustment handle is going to have to be mounted on the driver's side, which is going to put that on the inside where the torque tube tunnel is on the C5 Corvette. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to use the bracket for the driver's side on the passenger side seat. So this is the bracket for the driver's side. I'll be mounting this. Shoot, I got that backwards. What am I doing here? Yeah, I had the right one in the first place. Okay, so I have, this is the driver's side bracket, passenger side seat. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling this bracket over to these furthermost holes. So they're going to be lined up centered with the hole in the sliders, because I'm leaving the sliders on. I want the adjustability. I do daily drive this car, so it's not so much about it being a planted race car as much as it being something I can drive to and from. I'll work when I feel like it. So there's holes in the slider. Those are going to line up with this set of holes right here, which is going to put this seatbelt bracket right beside this lumbar adjustment. And then that pretty much 100% lines the center of this up with this bracket on this side. So I'll be drilling the hole, like I mentioned earlier, right here in the center on this seat. So that's kind of the plan, and we will go out and get some hardware, and then I will do my best to get this bracket mounted. All right, so what you're going to see that I've done here is I've got these grade 8 bolts with a lock washer, and I put them in on the side that I know that I'm going to keep the way it is. So I've got these slid over. The seat is going to be kind of shoved towards the center just a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes over here where I've got them marked on the other side where they line up. So that's our next step right now. All right, so I end up having to put a little bit more pressure. Apparently this is a high-speed drill bit, and because I'm using a drill, I wasn't able to kind of do it just lightly so you guys could see it on camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other one, but you won't be able to see me do it. So, all right, got our holes drilled here, and now I'm gonna try to fit it to the seat. All right, so as I mentioned, I bought grade 8 hardware. I think that I feel safest with grade 8. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the bolts in the top holes here first. And then I've got nuts and locking washers to go on the bottom side. So hopefully I got these holes drilled in the right spots. Hopefully my measurements are good. I'm gonna push this in, and then what I'll do is I'll do the bottom ones after I get these top ones in and lined up. So that is the current plan. Hey, look at that, that one lines up. So I guess that doesn't matter much. We'll see what happens when I try to put the bottom ones in place. I'm just gonna do these loosely for now, just to kind of get it where it's showing that it works. And I don't have to do any additional drilling. So that does appear to line up with that hole on the bottom. I think that one will too. So let's see. I'm going to flip this over and do the other side. All right, so those holes lined up really well. I'm going to go ahead and tighten those down with a ratchet. I did do, you know, I kind of ugga-dugged them in place with my DeWalt there. But now I'm gonna just go ahead and make sure that they're good and tight. I got the lock washers on there, so these really shouldn't move. I think when I take them back out to do the additional gusseting here, here, and here, that I will probably put some blue Loctite or something on there just to make sure they're not going anywhere. But that about does it. This thing is there. I'm gonna pull out the factory seats here, and then we'll go to put these in and see what happens. So, all right. So I haven't bolted these down yet. I just got it in just to see if it would fit first and foremost, and it does, which is fantastic. So I tried it in all the positions. It gives me just enough room. I'm gonna get you guys a little bit closer here in a minute when I can, but it does give room for the seat belt. The bolster adjustment works. I think I'm going to do what I've seen the other guys do, which is put like a little hook or something on there to pull that up. And then the seat belt's going to come out right here. So I've got to go ahead and transfer that. I was smart enough to buy some bolts because there's a peg on the factory seat where that seat belt comes out. And there is not one on these, it's just a hole. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer that. And then I got to figure out how the seat belt button goes. But I mean, once I bolt these down, it's a huge improvement, like unbelievable improvement. So I'm really excited. The quality seems pretty good, and honestly, I am going to go ahead and do that modification to the mount, like I talked about, the next time I pull these out when I go to really detail the car and do the carpets again. But in the meantime, I'm going to get these things bolted in. Alright, so I brought my bathroom scale in. I weighed myself 3 times on it. I'm not going to tell you what it says, but now I'm going to weigh myself with these seats so I can make sure that I know how accurate we are. I'll do the math and then you can know how much these weigh. Alright, now I'm going to do the factory seat, which I can tell you weighs significantly more. Whew. Alright, here we go. Alright, so after doing the math and weighing these things, there is a 15-pound difference between that seat right there and this one right here. So 15.5 pounds. I'm going to give it a little bit more because I haven't done the seat belt removal yet. So pretty amazing, 15 pounds difference. So between both of these seats, I'm going to have shaved 30 pounds out of the weight of the car, which means I can eat another pizza or two if I want to. So pretty awesome. Alright, so in order to get the seat belt mount on there, I did have to widen the hole because the size of grade 8 bolts that I bought was just a little bit too big. So I do have those mounted. They're on that seat in the background there. From everything that I've read online, I don't have to do anything with the seat belt connection because it's a, if you unplug it, it thinks that it's connected. So I'm not going to worry about the wiring on that, and I'm going to go ahead and install this seat. Alright, so driver's seat is in and planted. It's bolted down, looks really good, sits so much nicer than those factory seats. So I am going to get myself working on the passenger side. But yeah, super pumped. They feel awesome. Alright, so the install is complete. These seats they're shockingly good for the money. So just to break down kind of my expenses as to where I'm at in this install in the Corvette is I bought these seats. You can get them all over eBay. I just double checked to make sure that the dimensions mirrored the Corbeau Evo X seats almost to a T. So I went through, I double checked everything. I measured, used like an overlay of the Corbeau seats with these as well. and determined that these would work. They have them in a bunch of different colors. My car's red, obviously, so I went with the red stitching. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with my shifter boot and my brake boot, and just kind of accent the interior just a little bit. So I bought these on a buy it now for the pair shipped at $242 for the pair shipped. They showed up in about 4 days, came out of California. And then I bought the brackets from DNA. They're from Speed Daddy, but they're DNA brand, and I got those for $67. So I'm a little over $300 in this setup. I'm using my stock seat belts and all that business, plus I had about $3 worth of hardware I had to buy. So overall, I mean, it's about a third of what you would spend on the Corbeau seats. I'm sure they're not nearly the same quality. I definitely feel safer with this than I did with my factory seats that were just super sloppy. So I'm going to put these up for sale. I think I can probably get another $100 to $150 or even more if I decide to part them out, like take this back part and the switches and all the bladders and stuff for the lumbar support. If I take all that out, I think I'll get a little bit more. But overall, I'll get some more videos of these things. I can't really tell. It's really sunny out, so I'm not sure what this camera's doing, but dude, they're in. I'm gonna go take it for a spin, but I can tell you just from sitting in it, super happy. So hope you enjoyed. I encourage you to kind of maybe do the same thing to your car. If you're on the fence or if your seats are blown out, you're definitely going to be happier with this than you are with what you got. So if you like my videos, if you appreciate what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. If you want to, check out some of my other videos. I am doing a giveaway right now of a Simpson race suit, so if you want to go to that video, check that out and get yourself in the drawing for a $600 Simpson Fire race suit. I'm going to hold those names when I get to 1,000 subscribers. I know I got a long way to go, but I hope that as I keep putting out videos, there's a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple weeks for this car. So I've got these seats in. I'm going to do the front lip install. I'm building a set of DIY side splitters for it, and I've got the Spoiler King rear deck lid spoiler, the ducktail coming in for that as well. So a lot of stuff coming, and then after that we're doing performance stuff. So like I said, appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. Leave me a comment. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Thanks.